People may try to hurt you more if you show that you are hurt. It's sad that some people like it when other people are in trouble and may even make things worse. Most of the time, they do this out of jealousy or a sadistic desire to see other people suffer. It can happen at work, with friends, or even in your own family. It's possible to get better by hiding what hurts you. Picture yourself as a tree in the wind. Even if the branches and leaves move, the base stays strong and roots down. We'll teach you about this thing we call silent resilience. Like that tree, we'll show you how to be strong and not let life's problems bother you. You don't ignore problems when you act like they don't bother you. You just don't let them control you. You handle your life with strength and calm, even when things around you are crazy. We'll talk about 20 principles from Epictetus, a famous Stoic philosopher you may have heard of in this film. We'll also talk about knowing yourself. Real power doesn't come from loud noise, but from the soft light that guides you. You may not be able to change the things that happen to us, but you can always change how you react to them. This lesson is all about choosing to be strong and calm, no matter what life throws at you. Let's put aside our normal distraught actions for a moment and concentrate on some important life lessons. 1. The art of listening more than speaking. Epictetus, an old philosopher, believed that our ability to listen should be stronger than our desire to talk. He saw this as a metaphor for how our 2 ears and 1 mouth show this idea. This concept comes from the idea that we can only grow and learn by listening to and learning from other people's thoughts and experiences, not just repeating our own. To listen is to start a path of learning and wisdom, as Stephen R. Covey put it. Most people do not listen with the goal to understand. They listen with the intent to respond. It takes a conscious effort to listen to what others are saying and resist the urge to come up with an answer right away. This way of talking to others helps us connect with them more deeply and understand the world around us better. 2. Being ready by expecting the worst. A lot of the time, anxiety comes from a fear of bad things that might happen in the future, like failing at work or in our personal lives. Being afraid all the time can make it hard to enjoy life's joys and successes. Through his philosophy ideas, Epictetus offers a way to deal with these fears that seems odd but works. Imagine that the worst-case situations have already happened. This helps us get ready to deal with these problems. This thought exercise is not about being negative, it's about being strong. It involves getting the mind ready to deal with adversity, find answers, and stay strong and honorable in the face of life's natural challenges. By facing our biggest fears in this way, we can develop mental toughness and a resilient spirit that is ready to take on life's difficulties head-on. 3. Failure as a way to success. The idea that failure can lead to success is a key part of both personal and professional growth. It's important to see each loss not as a dead end, but as a chance to learn and grow. I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work, said Thomas Edison, which sums up this idea perfectly. To accept failure, we need to change the way we think about our losses. They shouldn't be seen as final losses. Instead, they should be seen as important steps on the way to success. Every error we make and every failed try teaches us something useful that helps us get closer to our objectives. This way of dealing with failure builds resiliency, sparks new ideas, and pushes for constant growth. By choosing this mindset, we give ourselves permission to develop and learn from our experiences, turning challenges into stepping stones to success. 4. The complexity of wealth and its effects. Having a lot of money can bring you comfort and chances, but it can also lead to greed and bad morals. This contrast is well shown by Socrates saying, "Contentment is natural wealth, luxury is artificial poverty." This philosophy is based on the idea that real wealth goes beyond material things. People should work on and value their character and honesty, which are much more important and lasting than just making money. The goal of getting rich should be matched with the goal of growing as a person and living in an honest way. It is important to remember that getting more stuff doesn't always make life more enjoyable. Sometimes, being simple and happy is more rewarding. 5. Diversifying your dreams can be a risky plan if you put all of your hopes and efforts into one thing. Epictetus, who had a lot of wisdom, put forth a more balanced view. Don't just wish for one thing in order to be happy, have many sources of happiness. This philosophy urges people to spread their hopes and dreams across different aspects of their lives. This way of thinking not only lowers the chance of being let down, but it also makes life more interesting by adding a wide range of satisfying experiences. We build a more resilient and fulfilling life journey by investing in multiple dreams, interests, and goals. Having a wide range of goals keeps our happiness and sense of satisfaction from depending on the success or failure of a single project. This makes for a happier and more peaceful life. 6. The Stoic principle of memento mori, which means you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think, shows how important it is to be aware of our own death. Being aware of this is a strong motivation to pay attention to what matters most in life. By being aware that our time is limited, we are pushed to live each day with meaning, honesty, and integrity. This point of view tells us to be happy and content with the way things are right now, which makes us appreciate what we have. Epictetus said, "He is a rich man who is content with what he has." This frame of mind encourages us to make the most of every moment we have by directing our attention away from the chase of fleeting joys and toward the acceptance of lasting values and the beauty of our current life. 7. Why appreciating present blessings is important. One of the most important rules for being content and happy is to focus on what we have instead of what we don't have. We are more likely to notice and enjoy the many good things in our lives when we take this method. Changing our focus from what is missing to what is present in our lives helps us feel grateful and satisfied. We don't have to ignore our goals or wants to have this mindset. Instead, we can find happiness and satisfaction in the present moment. Recognizing the worth of what we already have is important. This includes relationships, skills, experiences, and things we own. This point of view helps us build a base of happiness and confidence from which we can better reach our future goals and dreams. 8. Learning through humility. Being humble is a great way to learn and grow. The wisdom of Socrates, who famously said, "I know that I know nothing," emphasizes how important it is to recognize our knowledge gaps. This is not a sign of weakness, it's a strength because it lets us see things from different angles and understand things in new ways. By embracing humility, we put ourselves in the position of constant learners who are always ready to take in new information and adjust to it. It makes us want to ask questions, look into things, and stay open to the huge amount of information that goes beyond what we already know. This way of learning and improving ourselves is very helpful in a world that is always changing. It helps us grow personally and professionally. 9. Epictetus's wise philosophy teaches us that what really defines our lives are not the things that happen to us, but how we respond to them. Rather than blaming others, we should take responsibility for our actions. His words, "It's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it," made it clear that taking responsibility for one's actions was more important than pointing fingers. Putting the blame on someone else is a waste of time that takes attention away from finding answers and fixing problems. Instead, taking responsibility for our actions and decisions gives us the power to make things better and learn from them. A positive mindset is encouraged by this method. Instead of getting stuck in the useless loop of blame and guilt, we should focus on what we can control, like our actions, attitudes, and choices. By seeing things from this point of view, we can deal with problems better, learn from our mistakes, and live a more meaningful life. 10. Positive associations are very important for our view on life. The people we choose to be around have a big impact on this. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, as Jim Rohn said, shows how much our social group affects our thoughts, actions, and general health. Mindful of the people we hang out with is essential. Engaging with people who are upbeat, inspiring, and encouraging can improve our outlook on life and state of mind. These good feelings help you grow as a person, give you ideas, and make you more hopeful about the world. Spending time with people who inspire and boost us creates a setting that is good for our growth and happiness. This supports the idea that our relationships with others are an important part of our personal journey. 11. The Stoic Emperor. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who did the wrong." This philosophy highlights the enormous power of our responses in defining our lives. The things that happen to us don't really shape our fate. How we react to them does. Our answers show what kind of person we are, and by picking solutions that are in line with our ideals and morals, we shape the story of our lives. When we follow this concept, we should not react to things hastily or out of spite, but in ways that show who we really are. By doing this, we keep control over our actions and the results of those actions, guiding our lives in a way that is in line with our values and principles. 12. Why doing your duties is important. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do every act of your life as if it were your last." This quote shows how important duties are for having a useful life. Being dedicated and honest in our personal, professional, and social duties is a key part of feeling good about ourselves and being fulfilled. It's not enough to just finish chores. You have to do them with dedication and quality. Taking this attitude to our tasks not only helps us grow as people, but it also helps those around us and the community as a whole. We feel more meaning and happiness when we do our jobs with care and attention. This makes every day count and leaves a long, positive mark on the world. 13. How to get past negativity. As you go through life, you will inevitably face criticism and negativity. But Theodore Roosevelt's wise words, "It is not the critic who counts, the credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena," are a strong warning to keep our eyes on our own road and not worry about what other people think. Instead of getting caught up in the web of negativity, this lesson teaches us how important it is to focus our energy on positive activities and personal growth. Despite the fact that critics are always present, their words have no influence on our actions or choices. The important thing is to stay focused on our goals and keep trying to get better and make a difference, no matter what other people think. Doing this protects our trip from other people's doubts and negativity, letting our goals and hard work shape it. 14. Embracing the virtue of simplicity. Simplify was Henry David Thoreau's advice on how to find happiness and less stress by living a simpler life. According to this philosophy, we should simplify our lives as little as possible and focus on what is truly important. We can make room for clarity, peace, and a greater appreciation for the basics in our lives by clearing out our physical space, our responsibilities, or even our thoughts. Life simplifying isn't about going without things. It's about getting rid of the extra stuff that keeps us from focusing on what's important to us. With a focus on quality over number and a life that is in line with our core principles and objectives in every way, this method results in a more rewarding and mindful existence. 15. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, said, "No one can hurt you unless you let them." This teaching emphasizes the significance of exercising self-control over our responses to other people's actions. Our responses are always under our control, even when we can't change what happens to us or how people treat us. We take care of our mental health by using this control. It involves realizing that other people's words and actions do not control our emotions or state of mind. Instead, we have the power to pick answers that are in line with our ideals and keep us calm. This idea of emotional autonomy gives us the strength to handle life with grace, making sure that outside factors don't affect our inner peace. 16. Putting friendship ahead of material things. Aristotle's famous saying, "Friendship is a single soul dwelling in two bodies," shows how important real friendships are. Putting more value on the bonds of friendship than on getting more money is what this philosophy says. Friendships make our lives better in ways that things can't. They give each other help, happiness, friendship, and growth. It's important to put time and effort into these relationships because they give you mental support and a sense of belonging, which are important for a complete and happy life. True bonds are priceless and play a big part in our health and happiness. They are built on trust, understanding, and respect for one another. 17. A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty, as Winston Churchill said, is a strong reminder of how important it is to keep an upbeat attitude. This way of thinking tells you to look for the good in every bad situation. We can turn challenges into chances to learn and grow by adopting this mindset. It means moving our attention from the bad things that might happen to the good things that might happen and the lessons that can be learned. Taking this positive attitude every day will help us deal with life's problems better, and what might seem like failures at first will actually be learning opportunities that help us grow as people and in our careers. 18. Focusing on what you can control. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said it well, "Some things are in our control and others not." This quote is about focusing our efforts and worries on the things we can change in our lives and accepting and letting go of the things we can't change. Stress and anxiety are brought on by worrying about things you cannot control. Putting our attention on what we can change and affect helps us make better use of our time and energy. When we take responsibility for our actions and emotions, this way of doing things makes us feel calm and strong, which leads to a more productive and satisfying life. 19. A wise woman named Oprah Winfrey once said, "Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you focus on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough." This quote perfectly describes how being grateful can change your life. We develop a positive mindset that increases our general life happiness by focusing on what we do have rather than what we don't. Writing down things we're thankful for every day can have a huge effect on our happiness and mental health. This habit changes our attention to the good things in our lives, which makes us feel happy and healthy. Not only does gratitude make us feel better, but it also helps us deal with adversity and build stronger relationships. 20. Embracing change as a natural part of life. The famous ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus once said, "Change is the only constant in life." This wisdom teaches us the importance of embracing change as a natural part of our lives. Most of the time, fighting change makes you unhappy and frustrated. On the other hand, accepting it can help you grow, gain new experiences, and become more flexible. We become more flexible and resilient when we accept change, which helps us handle life's ups and downs with a positive outlook. Change can help you learn, grow, and see things from a different point of view. We shouldn't be afraid of what we don't know. Instead, we should be excited about the new opportunities and experiences that change brings, which will make us more well-rounded and active. Remember that these Stoic principles aren't just ideas. They're real-life guidelines for dealing with the ups and downs of life. Leave a comment below with your thoughts if these lessons were helpful, and keep looking for more deep wisdom.